Oh, forgot to turn on my camera, but got the 95 Eclipse GSX automatic in here. I'm going to be tearing out the transmission, the JDM transmission to be correct, to put a USDM transmission that I bought from the junkyard. This is where I'm at with this thing. It's up on the quick jacks, wheels removed. You may be able to see that gap that I was talking about too. Right there. See that gap between the transmission and bell housing? They have, where is it? Right there. There's a spacer there. And spacer all over the other one. But that's how it's going. Under here, got the transfer case out and the whole exhaust system. It's a mess right now. Gotta get cleaned up and then go back at it. But that's how it's going. So the transmission change turned into changing every ball joint and bushing, wheel bearing, brake rotors. There's the driver's side axle. This came out. The bearing needs to be replaced. See what other surprises I find on the other side. Alright, so here's the passenger side axle removed. Well, not just the axle, but the lower control arm or compression upper A arm. I couldn't get this one out because whoever installed it did it backwards. It hits the transmission right here. See? So this bolt was installed first when the transmission was out. So, this ball joint's bad also. It's got some play. That'll be replaced. So yeah, time to drop this thing. Also remove the side mount to have more clearance. I just dropped the transmission out of the car. Removed the flex plate, the jack stand supporting the engine. Here's the transmission. There's a torque converter and the flex plate. This is definitely a JDM flex plate, so can't use this flex plate for the USDM automatic transmission. And these are the spacers that they had. These were installed right here. So yeah, correct transmission will be going in. I guess I'll list this for sale or something. I'm not gonna need it. But yep, there's baby T25 turbo. Guess I could take advantage and clean up a little in here. All that dust, dirt. Okay, so here's a side-by-side comparison. This is the JDM transmission. This one's the USDM. I do have the shaft here, just popped out for the transfer case. See, it's on this car. They almost look identical, but from like this distance from here, right here to here, the JDM one's shorter. On the USDM, it's a little larger, or the distance from here to here. I should probably get a tape measure to see what I mean. Okay, so I grabbed a tape measure. This is the USDM automatic trans So the distance from that hose to the edge of the bell housing, it's about 6 inches, a little bit over. And then on this one, you can see how it doesn't even hit 6 inches at all. So that's why I had those spacers. Here's the JDM one. I see 1, 2, 3 female plugs. And if I go to this one, they're not even at this location here. They are located over here. USDM are located here. So 2 plugs. And this one has 3. Let's see. This thing, I don't know. There's that and the JDM, and there's this one and that one. So those 2 look the same. Over here at the shift linkage, there's a plug here, USDM, JDM. What else? This sensor right here, I'm not too familiar with these, so bear with me. That one there, there's a sensor there, and a sensor here that's not busted. I wonder if that's what was making it go into limp mode, I don't know. So this is a USDM. I can see here it says W4A33EV-S. This one says, this is the JDM one. It says W4A33E, whatever that means. JDM, USDM. Also notice this little plate cover here. Seems to be aluminum on the USDM. And on the JDM, it's like a thin metal plate. And this is a JDM flex plate. And when I put it up against the 2G torque converter, if I line up the 12 o'clock hole, come down here and notice how it doesn't line up. See the 12 o'clock holes lined up? That's not lined up. If I center the bottom, same thing. There's those. So, JDM flex plate does not work on a 2G USDM. So that explains why they had that flex plate with the other torque converter, because that's the only way it would work. So I was inspecting some of the parts and I noticed this intermediate shaft was cut and moved over and then welded. That sucks. I'm gonna have to find that too. Just can't win. Here's the transmission ready to go in, but still need a flex plate. Just kind of going over it. I'm at a stopping point here until I find parts. So I guess I'll make part 2 when I get them all.